Hey guys, welcome in. I'm your host, Paul Perez with CVPS Paranormal. Today we got a special guest with us, Jeff+woolwin. He is one of our speakers at the Las Cruces, New Mexico Paracon in 2024, October 19th. This is an event you're not going to want to miss. He's going to do with the Phoenix Lights expert. Jeff has also been featured on the UFO Hunter Show and The Proof is Out There and many, many more. As I like to show here before we get to our guests, our Paracon flyer, Saturday, October 19th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., where we'll have great guest speakers out there, classes, vendors, food trucks, cosplay, and raffles, and much, much more. Location is at the Frank O'Brien Papin Community Center at 304 Bell Avenue, Las Cruces, New Mexico, 88005. It's a free community event. So if you have your phones and if you're not on our event page, you can scan that QR code, or you can go to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and on our Facebook page. So I'd like to welcome Jeff. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Excuse me. Great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us here. And as I want to get into our first picture that you sent me, tell everybody about yourself.
Well, let's see. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. What really got me into UFOs was, I can remember, playing catch football with my dad out in the front yard, and there'd be an orb in the sky. And, we just kept seeing them. And, when I was like in the fifth grade, there was this red light in the sky. And I remember going to school the next day, and a friend of mine who was a little Native American boy, I mentioned it to him. I said, "Hey, did you see that light last night?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "My grandfather says those lights live in those mountains right over there." And he points to the west side of Phoenix, to the White Tank Mountains. And, being a kid, you just kind of blow it off, but going through life, you're seeing more and more and more of them. And that's when it just kind of dawned on me, wait a minute, there is something here, so what does the Native American say about these strange things that we see in the skies today? And, I started my research in 2004 because I kept seeing them and seeing them. So, I had to do my own research, my own investigation. I did this for myself. I
Right.
wasn't looking for anything else. I wanted to get some answers. And, you know, like 10 years before, I love history. I love archaeology. And, and when I combine the two, ufology with archaeology and the history, right? It
Right.
all seemed to fall into place. And that's where the answers is.
Right.
It's history. It's our history. And that's what I believe is going on today. Because to understand what's going on today, to understand what's going on with our future, we
Right.
first must understand our past. And our past does talk about what we see in the skies today as far as strange lights and strange things that we see in the skies today.
So, what is it? Why you think we see these strange lights and objects in the sky today than from how it was back then?
I went down this road when I first started this. I went down this road thinking the same thing as everyone else: spaceships, green men, aliens, technology, Alpha Centauri, beings from another world visiting us. But as years progressed, as I started hiking the mountain, understanding the petroglyphs, calling down a Native American shaman to actually teach me what the petroglyphs are on the mountains around Phoenix, and watching that mountain for years, watching South Mountain for years, and studying what was going on there, I soon realized that this direction wasn't the credibility. It was taking me down, all the answers was taking me down a different road. And I had to follow where the credibility is, what we can verify, what the history tells us, not what hearsay tells us, not stuff that we can't prove, right? But what stuff we can prove
Exactly.
through what the Native Americans tell us, through their drawings. And not only that, see, I look at the 3 points of credibility here. 1 point, we can read about these things from ancient scrolls from anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 years ago, whether it's the Anunnaki text, whether it's some of these biblical scrolls. And then we can go and see the prehistoric photographs of what the Native Americans are talking about. And that is depicting the exact same thing that we read in some of these ancient scrolls. And the third point of credibility is now we are seeing the exact same things in the skies today for our own eyes. This is where the credibility is. And when you really look into this, when you start studying this as much as I have, I've been doing this for over 20 years. And I'm
Right.
telling you, nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, the history is there. Everything seems to fall in place.
Nice. And also, I like to show a couple of clips of the petroglyphs that you sent me. So if we can just go ahead and put this one on, and if you can
Yeah, so when I
press.
first was watching this, I sat by South Mountain and I was watching things come and go from South Mountain, whether it was orbs or diamonds, and I soon realized that this was not spaceships. This was in 2005, okay, and I soon realized because they were flying right over. I lived about a mile and a half away from South Mountain. And I would see these things come and go from the mountain for over 3 years. I watched these things. And I soon realized that it wasn't technology that we were dealing with here, that these things were alive. These were living creatures, living entities, like serpents, like Quetzalcoatl. The archaeologists, they talk about these petroglyphs and they call these one weird looking shapes
Right.
anthropomorphs, shape shifters. And that's exactly what these things were doing. They were changing shape in the sky. And I soon discovered this was not technology. Sure, spaceships, aliens, technology, that's a
Right.
different subject. But this is something completely different. This is what history is telling us. This is what the rock art is telling us, is that these things are alive. And through my studies, through my information, I learned that they're not from outer space. They're more space. You
Right.
see, these things have always been with us. They're not from another world. I believe that this is their planet also, and they have always been here with us. This is what history tells us.
Yeah.
I have to go with what history says. History is talking about every time man interacts with these things, as far as the Native Americans, the Anunnakis, these things are here with mankind from day one.
Right. And this picture here that I'm showing
So
here.
here we have
What
a
do you? What?
petroglyph looking up at what looks like a flying serpent, a flying snake. Now, this was all new back then. You know, when I
Right.
was doing the pilot for the UFO Hunter show, along with the Ancient Aliens TV series, they were all verifying all my discoveries. But they were telling me, look, the public isn't ready for this. You're filming some bizarre stuff.
Uh
If
huh.
you're going to talk about these things, you must say crafts. You must say spaceships because that is what the audience can understand. This is all new. When you start talking about flying entities, flying living creatures, flying light orbs, flying things that are alive, the public
Right.
isn't going to understand that yet. This was in 2005. And since then, right now, I've been getting reports all over the world. People have been emailing me and messaging me, saying, dude, I saw a flying snake in the sky. Dude, I saw this. I saw what you filmed, back in 2007 or 2006, and I knew that eventually the public would get this. Now they're talking about flying jellyfish. Well, I discovered this in 2005. And I was the first one to actually prove this. Not only prove that these are living entities, but also prove that the Native Americans were carving the exact same things that we're seeing in the skies today. You see, up until that point, we assumed that the Native Americans were talking about, some would say extraterrestrials, some would say UFOs and aliens and stuff like that. But now we can actually this on the rock and match them to what we're seeing in the skies today. And up until that point, no one has ever successfully done that before. So
Okay.
I knew there was something here, and I wasn't going away. This is what was here, and I
Right.
just felt that we need to get this information out and start spreading the word here. And I went a lot further. I did a lot of investigating in the 10 to 15 years I was out there, um, and you know, I it was cool talking to the Native Americans. It was cool looking at the petroglyphs. It was cool, seeing the things in the sky.
Yeah.
But what does what else is there? There's got to be more here because the archaeologist isn't talking about this. I was finding things on South Mountain that the archaeologist was not talking about. And
Okay.
like I said before, when I combined archaeology with with ufology, that's when it all seemed to come to place.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I can go on forever on this.
No worries. I got a JD Charles here said they have been with us even before humankind, before ourselves as Dino, Navajo, and dying. I believe dinosaurs. Maybe that's what he's saying. Navajo go back to the beginning before humankind.
Absolutely, absolutely I believe that. They have always been here. Here's another secret: these things don't die. What we see in the skies today are the exact same ones that the ancient ones saw in the skies also. So you see that orb out there? You see that light out there? Well, you know what? That same creature was seen over 1,000 years ago.
Wow. And also we have Benito's mentioned here. He said they have seen jellyfish UFOs.
Yeah, that's just a new name for it. Back then I was
Yes.
calling them a tadpole, or a serpent. I was mostly calling them. I did a news story, 2005, and I was calling them a tadpole because it looked like tadpoles carved on the rock, and I filmed a tadpole coming off the mountain in 2005, and when I made the news on that, we were calling them tadpoles. And then from there, I soon realized that look, that petroglyph, that petroglyph you just showed, it was a stick figure man looking up at flying serpents, flying snakes, Quetzalcoatl in the sky. So it went from and so now this is all new to the public. So they're
Right.
calling them jellyfish, but
Makes
it's the
sense.
same
Yeah.
thing.
And then he says they've seen them over there on the near South Mountain. I, I take it, whether you guys Arizona, correct? The North South
Yes,
Mountain.
did you say the mountains?
Yeah, he's mentioned near the South Mountain area.
Yeah, South Mountain. Yes, East Side. East Side is always sacred because it that seems to be the hot spot. Like through everywhere. I don't care where you go. Oriented east, the morning sunrise is the sacred area. And that's where these things, doesn't matter where you're at, and mountains are the source. Fault lines are the source. Anything where there's a gathering of energy, okay, that is the source. And it's always going to be oriented towards the east. That is the hot area. So the east side of South Mountain is where we mostly see these things at.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Just because it's so active out there, or just the energy, or
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Right now I live in Tucson, and I've been
okay,
filming lights over a mountain here ever since May, and we'll get into that probably a little bit later.
yes,
But yeah, see, the problem is no one's really watching the mountains as much as I am. And if they would watch these mountains during some of these hot months, as we're hopefully going to talk about later in the show, they will see them also. They will see them too. So I know for a fact that these Phoenix lights are there now in Phoenix right now. All right. But no one's watching. No one's paying
Right.
attention. If they are, oh, it's got to be a flare. Oh, it's got to be a balloon. Right. But I know for a fact that they're there because why? Because they're here in Tucson also. And I'm filming these things over this mountain called Mount Lemon. And it's crazy. I first discovered them in May 10th. And it's been crazy. Those of you who have been following me on Facebook and on my YouTube page, look at the sightings, look at the stuff that's going on out there. And it's great too, because I've got other people involved in this too, also. I've got a good friend of mine named Tim. He's on the east side out there, Mount Lemon. He's watching these things now. And then I called the Tucson MUFON, Karen, and I had her to come out and she verified it. Yeah, that's there. And now she's watching them over there on the west side. So yeah, we got
We
this
got
mountain,
everybody
man.
there.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm gonna have
So
to start going out at night and watching my mountainsides and looking
yeah,
at the.
yeah. Absolutely. And it's weird too because like here they're coming in like in 2004 lights on the east side of South Mountain. They were coming in around 10, 11 o'clock at night, very slowly. And where were they going? They were going over this power plant that's bored down into a fault line that created South Mountain. All right. They would
Right.
move ever so slowly. They would pop into the sky and they would move ever so slowly and hover right over that power plant. They would absorb that energy because that's the whole reason why they're here is because of the energy. As soon as
Uh-huh.
they absorb that energy, they disappear and more would come. Now between 10 and give or take 11:30 midnight, sometimes they would come right after sunset. But
Right.
here they're coming in at 1 o'clock in the morning. And over time, I've been watching them through the months now. They're coming in later and later and later. So now they're coming in like at 2:15, 2:20. So by the time um, the uh, the uh, the fall equinox, September 22nd, rolls around, they're going to be gone. They won't be here.
And why
So
is that?
we have up until September 22nd to see them, and they're moving further away too, because they were like on the west side of Mount Lemon in May, and I've been tracking them all these months, and they're moving. They're slowly each month they're moving across the mountain, and now they're on the east side of the mountain, and then by September 22nd they will be completely east of the mountain, and they will be gone.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'll
That's
be talking about this and going into more detail. And I've been currently working on my own UFO show, and there's a lot of great information going to be going on in this
well.
show.
It seems like you got a lot of great information, and you're very knowledgeable on this stuff, and it's amazing how seeing your expression, see how you talk about it, and you have
Oh,
a
it's
passion.
crazy.
It's
It's
awesome.
crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I've been doing this for years, and I still get electrically charged, man,
Right.
uh, because it's so spectacular. It's so
It is.
incredible, and when you really understand it, it's just it really gets you.
It just just by listening to you and stuff like that, it just takes it to a whole nother level from doing investigations of paranormal to this other stuff, with the lights and UFOs and petroglyphs and stuff like that. That's like on a whole
Yeah,
different level right there. You know,
yeah. It's not just a sighting; it's an adventure, and it's
So,
been
exactly.
an over 20-year adventure here.
Wow.
And you always learn something new. You always come
Exactly.
across something new. So once you think you know it all, you don't,
You
man,
don't.
because there's
Yeah.
so much there. You're like, oh wow,
I
you
feel
know?
it. Yeah, because, even today in the paranormal field, it's like I don't know it all. We're still learning, as any other teams out
Yeah.
there. As
And
we're
here's the
still.
thing. Here's the thing. So the Native Americans, they have already done this for us. They've already documented and traced these things in the sky. They tell us through their light and shadow markers of the equinox and the solstice and their petroglyphs. They tell
Right.
us, man. They show us when they're going to be here, what to look for, when they're going to be gone. Everything is there. All right. And that's the key. That's the secret. When you have an open mind to this stuff and you sit back and you say, wait a minute, it's not just a story. What if they're telling us, information? What if this is an informational device when you
Right.
see these things? And once you do that, then you understand. Then you will come to realize, wait a minute, this just isn't graffiti. This just isn't a tall tale. This just isn't a myth
Right.
or legend. All right. They're doing this for a reason. All right. And they're marking this down. They're keeping track of this history. And I believe it's for our generation. Okay. These petroglyphs, this information, these sacred skulls, all this stuff that we've been reading for hundreds of years and thousands of years and seeing the petroglyphs, it's all meant for us. All right.
Right.
Now we need to take a second look at this and understand what they're talking about.
All right. Very interesting. Very interesting. I've want to go to this comment here. Eldon. He says, "I've seen this guy in action." Let me go back here to get it. I've seen this guy in action at work on this topic. He is
Oh, it's
absolutely
Eldon. Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. Thank
yeah,
you.
there, Eldon. And let's see here. I want to show that we're lagging on the internet here signal. But go ahead and explain to this photo here what's going on here.
So these are the light orbs that I just recently found over Mount Lemmon, and it's just one of my favorite screenshots. And here you can see, when you look at this, a lot of people are thinking, well, this is a spaceship, this is a craft, but
Right.
each light is a living entity. These things are alive. All right. This is not technology. This is not a spaceship. Okay. These things are, in my opinion, a living entity, a living creature. When you see 5 lights out there or 3 lights such as this, you're looking at 5 or 3 living creatures, living entities.
Wow. That's
Right. Yeah. And this is a completely all new ball game for some of these other UFO researchers, and it has been. That's why my work was so controversial for the past 10 years,
uh-huh.
you know. But I always stuck to my guns, and there was so much evidence out there that now, some of these other cable shows like Skinwalker Ranch, they're using my information to talk about what's going on out there. And but when you basically look at all this, this all came down to South Mountain in 2005 and working on the Phoenix Lights. Uh, you know, uh, Ancient Aliens and the UFO Hunter Show and Skinwalker Ranch wasn't even around back in those days. But yet I was up on the mountain. I was documenting these things in the sky. I was tracing them, tracking them each
Right.
each year, each equinox and solstice, changing of the seasons, tracking them when they were here, just like the Indians were doing. And
Right.
that's why Pat Uskert, when he was doing the pilot for the UFO Hunter Show, he asked me. He was working for the UFO magazine at the time,
Okay.
and it wasn't called the UFO Hunter Show back then. It was first called UFO Road Trip, and he asked me to be involved in that pilot. And from there, that's where Ancient Aliens and all these other shows, started going until finally Ancient Aliens took over the UFO Hunter Show. And I did this. I did the UFO Hunter Show in 2007 when they started making the air on the
Right.
History Channel, and I took them out to the White Tank Mountains, and we talked about the petroglyphs, connected to the UFOs, and so it was pretty incredible. It was pretty great.
That's amazing stuff, man. I would love to go with you on an adventure one day because, like you said,
Oh
it's an
yeah,
adventure.
you know
Check out the checklist and
you're in California, so there's a
right.
lot of reports. Yeah, those things are there. These things are here. I'm getting reports and videos from like all over, all right, the United States. These things are clearly here. something is going to happen, man. Something major like is going on. And, watching what's going on for the last
Right.
20 years or so, whenever man seems to go to war with each other, that's when a lot of these UFOs start to appear, start to make themselves known to us. Look at World War II and the Foo Fighters, man. They were chasing those red lights all over the place. And they didn't exactly know what they were back then. Each
Oh,
side thought it was another technology from the enemy, and then years later they come to find out that it wasn't anybody's technology; that it was something else that was here. And so look at the world today.
yeah.
Look how crazy, how things are escalating, all right, in the world. So it only makes sense on why there are so many things in the sky now. So it was in the time
Yeah.
of the end, and so it shall be in the time of the beginning. So
Definitely. Well, I'd like to show a video clip that you sent on over to me, and then I'd like to play that if that's all right.
sure,
So
yeah.
we're gonna go clip here and enjoy this little show.
So I'm using a laser too. I'm shooting a laser at him.
Hey,
This is when Karen
let's-
Hill from MUFON, she was a witness to this. And so I'm shooting this high powered laser at these things. And look how they're brightened up right in the same area. They all seem to be getting bright around in the same area. And then they start to go dim as soon as they pass that area. They're going over that energy source, that energy spot. This is over Mount Lemmon. This was filmed just a few months ago or a few weeks ago, and whenever they seem to get over their certain point, and I'll be going over this in more detail in my show. Whenever they get over that same area, they just glow bright with energy, right? They're
Yeah.
absorbing that energy so much, man. And then when they leave, they start to dim out. And then more comes in. Just it's like an intergalactic gas station, man. They're like
Yeah.
fueling up, dude. You know what I
Yeah. That's
mean?
amazing footage. I want to play it one more time. Just who didn't ever catch it. I just want to show it one more time. It's amazing.
It's incredible watching these things.
Yeah.
I'm
It
using a
really
night
is.
vision. I'm using a night vision camera to
It's
see
amazing.
them better with. I'm kind of far like away from them. I mean, the mountain is like right there where I'm at, and I can only see them with my naked eye when they
Right.
get real bright. But my friend Tim, he's got good footage of it. I'll be showing that in my show.
Yeah.
And they're red. They're just like the Phoenix lights, man. They're red entities. They're red lights, man, and they're dropping out of the sky. It's like the stars are coming alive, man. The stars are moving. The stars are falling to earth, and they're going back up into the heavens. I've been watching this for months, man. The sky's falling, dude.
That's amazing. That is like right in the beginning. I seen one to shoot across. You know, I don't know if you
Oh,
caught that.
that was a meteor. That was a
That was a
meteor.
meteor. That was so awesome catching the meteor as you were doing like you're doing that laser light
Yeah,
right there. I was
yeah,
shining
yeah.
it up. That was pretty awesome. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, did I just see something just go meteor go by? So that's cool. You
Yeah.
caught that on that video.
Yes, it was just like right after we had this major meteor shower, and that was just kind of the tail end of the meteor shower, like maybe a few days after the meteor shower was active,
Wow,
and then there was still some going on, and we were catching them in the night vision.
that is so awesome. All right, I would like to take a little intermission right now and just show everybody that's here with us your flyer again. So everybody, Jeff+woolwin will be a guest speaker here at our Paracon in Las Cruces, New Mexico. So let me put up his flyer here. And this is you can see everything right here what Jeff will be talking about. What you can follow him on Facebook. Where can they find you, Jeff? Um, Anywhere else besides Facebook?
Facebook, Jeff Wheelwine, Petroglyphs in the Sky, YouTube, Petroglyphs in the Sky. Contact me on my on email, petroglyphs in the sky at yahoo.com. It's all one word. And yeah, so
Awesome. Well, there it
YouTube
is, guys.
on YouTube, it's called the Phoenix Lights Petroglyphs in the Sky. There's a lot of fake accounts out there using my stuff, using my name, but the real me is the Phoenix Lights Petroglyphs in the Sky.
And there it is, guys. That's where you can find Jeff. Make sure you go follow him, check out his videos, support him. Make sure if you're in the Las Cruces area or in the surrounding area, make sure you come out, bring the family, and join us October 19th at the 2024 Paracon in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where we're going to have speakers. So come out now, meet and greet Jeff+woolwin, and it's going to be fun. Also, we're going to have here Shahal Crew Paranormal. So come on out and meet Shahal Crew Paranormal. There'll be guest speakers. Also, we have Sunset Paranormal. So make sure you come out, meet and greet with Sunset Paranormal. Also, we have Medium Red. So come on out, support these guest speakers, guys. So in the Las Cruces, New Mexico area or the surrounding area, come on out and support them. Also, we got Haunted Attic. So come on out and meet Haunted Attic Paranormal Team. Also, we got Get Out Paranormal. Come on out and see Get Out Paranormal, which they will have a vendor spot as well, selling their paranormal devices. He makes great paranormal devices, guys. So if you guys don't already have one, make sure you guys get one. I think he does K2 meters, REM pods, with animals, dolls, with dolls. So make sure you come and check out his vendor spot. Also, we got Closer to the Veil, paranormal investigations. So make sure you come out, support them. And we also got, I think I always say her name wrong, Eldora. Eldora Paranormal. Make sure you come and make sure you support Eldora Paranormal. And then Paranormal Research Investigators. Make sure you come on out and support these groups, guys, and speakers. It's the show you're not going to want to miss. And we got Dave Hero. So there it is, guys. There's your lineup for the guest speakers. So we are still looking for vendors. I know we're less than 2 months away. So I know we've been getting some more vendors in. So come on out, guys. Hang out with us, set up a booth, set up a table, and get all your goodies out there, all your spooky stuff. Exactly.
From what I understand, we're going to be holding a raffle, and I'll be donating an autographed book to the raffle. So make sure you come out and you get your copy of the Phoenix Lights, Petroglyphs from the Sky, True Stories, Myths, Legends, and UFOs over Phoenix, Volume 1. And so this will be autographed and presented to the right person, to the winner. So yeah, come on out and get your free book, man. It's going to be great. The whole event's going to be
Yeah,
free.
the whole
You
event.
know, yeah. My UFO show is going to be free. So we're taking the tour to your Paracon, and we're going to be presenting the Phoenix Lights, talking about the history of Phoenix and the history of Phoenix Lights, talking about the Hohokam Indians, talking about the petroglyphs. It's a free show, man. What better way, to kick it off, man? Come on out and have a great day and spend some
Yeah,
time with some paranormal researchers. Check out some UFOs, and it's going to be great. Thank you so much for having me.
definitely. Thank you for being here with us, Jeff. I mean, couldn't be more happier to have you on here, be a part of the Paracon. And let's get to some of the comments here. We're like 12 comments behind here. So let's see what we got. Let's see what Don has to say here. Don Powers. I saw that, Pam. Looked like one shot across. Okay, she's talking about the meteorite, right?
Yeah, the meteor. Yeah.
Across the other one there. And then Don Power said yes. Once let's see what she says here. Don Powers, we need to That just turned off there. We need we need to Pam to give her intel on this stuff too. But that was, I believe, a conversation between Don and Pam. All right.
Uh, if you want, go ahead and show that other petroglyph picture.
Oh yes, yes, that's what I was going to show. The other one and talk about that one. I know we have
Yeah,
one another.
yeah, there you go. So that explains it all. That is it. Look at that. We have three people, and to me, I think it's a family. And they're in the appeasement pose. That's to say, their arms are up, okay, and they're
Uh,
looking at two orbs in the sky. Is this not the Holy Grail,
yeah,
people? I mean, come
look at
on,
that.
man. This
That
is
is so
found.
true. Yep, looking at the orbs in the sky.
Yeah, the exact same stuff that we are seeing in the skies today was carved over 1,000 years ago by the Hohokam Indians, not only in Phoenix, Arizona, but also in these other places where these entities, these creatures, likes to visit
The visit,
uh, because of
because
the altitude.
right.
I mean, that's it.
That's amazing. That's a good way. A family of three looking at orbs, or what you
I mean,
I mean at is that what you were calling them? Orbs or
yeah, orbs, yeah.
oh yeah, orbs. That's amazing. That is so cool. And how far do you think this dates back? Something like this. How long
Well,
that we've been there?
so uh, we can't carbon date the petroglyphs. But we can do is carbon date the pottery shards left around from when the Native Americans were there. So we can and the pottery shards also gives us so much information. It tells us, if it's the same dirt or not, if it was brought in from another area, from another state. It
Right.
tells us, when it was made. So yeah, those pottery shards really, that's what the story is. That's where we can understand the history. And it's unfortunate that we really can't carbon date the glyphs, though the glyphs, like when you first carve a petroglyph, these petroglyphs, they're like kind of like tattoos. When you first get a tattoo, it's like a skinny line, but over the years, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. That's kind of how these petroglyphs are. They're kind of like the same way. So over the years, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So when you see a real thick one, then you know it's been sitting there a long time.
And why is it that it gets thicker? Like just because like the wind and dust storms
Sure,
or rain?
elements, yeah, elements and the time and the way the sun is baking on the rock, the rock could be expanding, things like that. So it's just the elements. The elements are making it
Make
more thick.
okay. And then when back then, when these petroglyphs were, I guess they back then they would tell a story why they would do something like this on these rocks or in certain areas.
Yeah, so when you see a petroglyph in a certain area,
Uh,
that is a history marker. That is what took place. That is telling a story that took place in that area. This is the reason why sometimes we find petroglyphs here, but we don't find any petroglyphs like way over there because nothing happened there. So when you find it, when you come across the petroglyph, don't move it because you're erasing history. You're moving the story that happened there. Because they didn't have video cameras, they didn't have cell phones, right? They had stone boulders to record their sightings on, their testimonies for our generations, for generations to come. And so when you see a glyph in that area, that is the area where it took place at. Also, when you look at the petroglyphs, you're supposed to look at the whole landscape. Just don't look at the art, but the whole landscape because the artist is putting the landscape in with the art. So when you find a glyph and it's high up on a peak, high up on the side of a hill, right?
yeah.
When you look up, he's telling you, look, I saw this in the sky. So what better way to explain what he saw is to carve it in the sky. And so that's what they did. They went up high and they carved it. So you have to look up to see it. So let's talk about these spirals real quick. So these spirals represent a symbol for a doorway. And so when the spiral goes clockwise, it's a doorway in. When a spiral goes counterclockwise, it's a doorway out. So the Native Americans, when they say that the spiral is going in, they're saying they're going down into the underworld. On a
Uh-huh.
scientific analysis, what I've been doing all these years, I've been following these things and following the energy sources. It has everything to do with the fault line. When the spiral ends down, they're going down into that energy source, down into that fault line, into that major spot there to absorb the energy. When the spiral ends up, it's like a vortex in the sky. That's when these Phoenix lights, these lights are just magically coming in, right? So there's a vortex in the sky. It's like looking down into a hole. That's what these spirals represent. It's like looking down into a hole. And 9 times out of 10, when the spiral ends in the crack of that stone, that is the emergence point. That is the doorway. If it ends down, then that whole ground, that whole rock could be in the emergence point. So when you see these petroglyphs of spirals,
Yeah.
this is the source. Those are the doorways on where to watch these things come and go from.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't even know that. I just learned something amazing today. I'm gonna be looking out for that this kind of stuff when I go hiking. So,
Right? Yeah.
because I go on one of our hiking trails, we do have a lot of petroglyphs, um, and I know where they're at. So I'll take some pictures because we definitely got to do another show like this, and
Oh,
this
for
way
sure.
you can put 'em on, and then you can explain to me, what's going
Oh,
on.
yeah. I'd love to see them. So I'd love
Yeah,
to see them.
there's so much amazing good stuff. And we got Dawn Powers. She says, "I wonder if there are any portals around the mountain, like at Skinwalker
So
Ranch."
I've been studying Skinwalker Ranch. So the ranch is okay, but that's not the source. The source is a canyon about a mile or two away from that ranch. All right. And that canyon has spirals in it, has anthropomorphs, has these orb carvings. Okay. That is the source. Skinwalker Ranch, they're just in the middle of a pathway. All right. They're in the middle. When they see something up there in the sky, whatever, they're going to the source. They're going to that canyon. So Skinwalker Ranch just so happens to be sitting next to an energy spot, an energy source that the Native Americans has already found and documented in that area, that canyon there with the spirals.
Wow, amazing! And Cindy mentioned we've seen one in the sky, and when we seen it, it was like we were watching it, and it turned around and followed us a few minutes. It was scary. So this was the experience that she's
Oh
talking
my
about
gosh.
driving and
Oh
saw
yeah. Oh yeah.
light
So
UFO like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy how she caught it on recorded it, and all of a sudden like it was on the side of us, and then all of a sudden like right when we passed it, like took off really really quick.
dang.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that's
amazing.
crazy.
And then Don came back and said, "There's a protector warrior face on Blind Frog Ranch, which isn't too far from Skinwalker Ranch."
Cool.
Warrior.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Don. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. All right. And let me see if we go back here and
I'm really anxious to get my show out there because over the last few weeks, I've been really gathering a lot of information and a lot of good stuff. Basically, things I've already been saying all these years,
yeah,
but now this mountain here, we're actually, we have a diagram now. We have something that we can actually talk about now that's actually, I like to call this mountain active. The mountain is active, and all the information is there. And once you see this up and coming show, it's all going to fall in place, and it's really going to make you think. And
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's
I'm
it's
definitely looking forward. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this presentation of yours. I heard a lot of many great things about your shows, and your seance. Your wife Pam, she mentioned to me about that machine that you have,
Oh
and seeing it
yeah,
go on. I seen the video and stuff like that, which was amazing and stuff like that. But
yeah. Thank
definitely
you.
looking forward to watching your presentation as well, and all the
Yeah,
other
thank you.
speakers as well. I can't wait to see and hear everybody's presentation and be. I'll get to talk to you September 14th, which is great because I'm so happy you guys are coming out. We're holding these mini ones leading up to ours. I don't know if Pam told you of 2025 of next year. We plan to host a Paracon out here. Um,
Yeah,
very cool. And
yeah.
definitely want you to, for you guys to be part of that as well.
Cool.
And
Thank you.
that's the one that we have coming up September 14th. And she's like, "It's my birthday. I want something to do. Love California. Want to go out there." So, I got to talk to her on the phone, and I'm so happy you guys, are going to come out and do some investigating with us, along with Benny and I have a friend. His name is Sunny. He's his friend Gary. I don't know if you know a Gary, but he says he knows you,
Okay.
and so he says he's going to be a vendor at the event on September 14th as well. And
Great. Great.
I said, "Well, Jeff is going to be there." He goes, "He is," and he wants to talk to you about his friend Gary and about some
Sure.
UFO and lighting and wants to do some kind of event in Arizona next year.
Sweet.
So that's
Yeah, that
that's
sounds great.
so we'll get together and talk about that and see what we can come up with and put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really
Yeah,
great
that
guy.
sounds great. I'd like to find out more information about that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And when I brought up your name, yeah, I know Jeff, and I said, okay. I said, well, he's coming down September 14th, so we can all get together and we can talk and hang out and plan something.
Sounds
And
wonderful. I can't wait.
let's see, I believe your wife made a comment here. Says, I have had to hide behind a cactus before because I got such a creepy feeling from one that was watching us watch it. Okay. Well, what was that about, Jeff?
So we were out there on South Mountain, and I'm always talking about that there's like a vortex in the sky, and we actually witnessed this. There was a light in the sky, and out came from within that light this black looking thing, and it came out of this light and like a doorway in the sky. And at first it looked like a snake. It was a serpent. And I'm out there filming it, and Pam's got her binoculars, so she's got a good view of it, and she's freaking out. It's a snake! It's a snake! Is it gonna get me? It's a snake! And I'm like, it's okay, don't worry. It's going that way. It's not coming towards us. And as it moved across the sky, it was changing shape. It was anthropomorphing, and it actually changed into a stick figure, what looks like a stick figure man, with his arm on his waist and two antennas coming out of his head. Craziest looking thing ever, but exactly to the T of some of these petroglyphs out here. You can see it on my Facebook page. And
Right.
also, as a matter of fact, that sighting is going to be in the presentation that I'm doing there at the Paracon. So come on out, take a look at that. We're going to talk about it, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, Pam mentioned, she said it had horns.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, it was crazy, man. It was something else. Yeah, it was
uh,
Petroglyph City, man, to the
Petroglyph
T.
City.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it was a stick figure looking being up there, right?
Uh-huh.
Come to
Wow.
the Paracon, check it out. You're going to see it
There it
on a
is,
big
guys.
screen.
Yeah, on a big screen, the biggest screen that we're gonna get possible. Come and see it. It's gonna be a great show. Come on out. We're gonna have raffles going on. It's gonna be a great free event. So bring your friends, your family. Be entered in the raffle and win this a great, amazing book, autograph signed book here by Jeff. You're not gonna want to miss it. We're gonna have amazing speakers, food trucks, um, cosplay, raffles going on throughout the day. So there's going to be a lot of fun activities going on throughout the day, guys. So come on out 10 to 6. You're not going to want to miss it. So,
It's gonna
Jeff,
be great.
yeah. So I know we have a lot to do still, and to make this great event happen, and we couldn't have done it without you guys. And we got the right lineup, for this Paracon event. So I'm super stoked about it, super happy, and
Well,
the way
thank you
everything's
so much.
going.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for having us. Yeah, it's gonna be
yeah,
great. I'm honored. Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. With all you guys, like I said, without you guys, we wouldn't be able to make this happen. And especially with, I want to post up here real quick, and she is out of town. Not out of town. I would stay in another state. She's in Washington D.C. right now on another event, but I wouldn't be able to make this happen without Mary, La Cruces Paranormal Investigators. So I want to send a big shout out to Mary and tell her thank you for all the help, all the support, guidance, and putting this event together with me and making it happen. Because her too, without her, this wouldn't be happening. With all the resources, and she's been working really hard out there. With sponsorships and getting stuff for the venue, and along with all of her other events got going on, she still has time to squeeze this one in. So a big thanks to Mary. We greatly appreciate you. I know we have a lot more sponsors, but our main big sponsor is 420 Collections, Marvina. So thank you, Marvina, with 420 Collections. And without you, we wouldn't be able to make this happen. And we appreciate your sponsorship. And also, I believe I got another one here, unless I forgot to add it. But I believe his name is Ron from Merlin's Marketplace. I believe it is. So thank you, Ron. Thank you for your sponsorship. Um, when she gets back, I know she's going to send me a lot more sponsors that help put this event together as well. And we also have Vicky and Patrick that used to host the Paracon. I don't know if you guys know who Patrick and Vicky was, but they would do the Paracons before. And they, she passed a few years ago, and then Patrick not too long ago. And we want to say, we want to do a blessing for them as well, a moment of silence for them out there. We want to dedicate this, event to them as well and to their family, and keep their, the legacy going of the Las Cruces Paracon. And I think Mary just mentioned right now, she's still on here. Monster House is another sponsor. So thank you, Monster House. We greatly appreciate your sponsorship. And I know we're gonna do a little. We're gonna do a donation to, I guess, one of the charities or our fundraisers that she used to be a part of, and part of the proceeds are gonna go to there. And hopefully, we can get some kind of little plaque, and they'll, with her and Patrick's name on it, and we can put it up at the event or place it somewhere in the memory of them. So we love to continue the Las Cruces Paracon in honor of their name. But thank you guys for everybody that's here. I appreciate you guys joining in. Loved all the comments, all the interaction. We can't wait to see you guys out there. Come on out and support these great speakers. You're not going to want to miss the great presentations, some great amazing food, some outdoor activities. It's going to be fun, guys. So we hope to see you guys out there. And I'm going to leave it with Jeff and let him close it out with any last minute things he wants to say. So go ahead, Jeff.
You know, these petroglyphs that we find on the rocks out here is part of our history, and they're meant for us. And all we have to do is acknowledge them and understand them and have an open mind to them. The same thing what comes with all paranormal investigations. You must have an open mind. If you have a closed mind to things, the answers are going to go right over. But when you have an open mind and you actually look at something and examine it and study it and take it to heart, that's when the answers will come to you. And it's like an overflowing waterfall. The information will hit you like a tunnel break. And that's what we need to do. We need to open up our minds. We need to examine the possibilities, not have a closed mind to things, but look at what really could be going on here. And when you do that, then the answers will be coming, and it will totally open up your mind. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and look at me, dude. I'm charged because it's so
Yeah.
exciting. you know? So, and I want everybody else to do that. This is why I do what I do. Not for money, not for fame, but to get you investigated, you educated, but informed. Once I want you to go out there and just do what I do, man. Go out there. You want to find UFOs? Hey, I'm here to help you, man, because I've seen them, I've found them, and just go out there, have an open mind, and seek, and you shall find. And when you find it, it's going to change your life.
Well, there it is, guys. You heard it right there firsthand from Jeff. Yeah, he's willing to help. And if you guys want to take that venture and go UFO, um, those petroglyphs, you can make sure you follow Jeff on Facebook and all those social media sites and send some pictures in to him, and he can help you understand them, talk to you about them, bring some knowledge to you as well. And come on out October 19th, 2024 at the Las Cruces. Go Paracon and be sure you get there so you be entered for that free raffle and win that book there, that signed autograph book.
Find me on Amazon and Kindle. Find my all my books there on Amazon and Kindle. Just search my name, Jeff Woolwine. I'm all over the internet, and find out some history. And yeah, come on out, Las Cruces. Check out the Paracon. It's gonna be great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I hope everybody has a good evening. And we will see you October 19th in New Mexico. Thank you, Jeff, for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you later, buddy.
You too. Bye bye.